Hello everybody, we are Adventure Authority. I am Dave, with me as always is David.
Hey there!
And Dan.
Konnichiwa.
And today we will be comparing 2017's The Mummy to 1999's The Mummy. Right guys, so did you like the new Tom Cruise film?
Dan?
Me? No. In short, I didn't like this
okay,
film.
in that case,
Basically,
in short, Dave?
Not even slightly.
And no. Sorry, Dan. Do carry on.
even from seeing the trailer, it was obvious that this film was going to be a turd. The trailer itself was just full of every hackney cliche imaginable, complete with, you know, the tone sound effects, and probably made even worse by the fact that it's supposed to be part of this new shared universe.
Is that the Dark Universe?
Yes, it is the Dark Universe. This whole idea of the shared universe that all movie studios now want to cash in on since the success of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But it's just that typical thing of executives not really having great imagination and just like to copy each other and copy other things that work without actually understanding why one thing worked and why the other thing might not work or might not be the best format for a shared universe. So, you know, and it was just all that shared universe stuff was shoehorned into the movie and was just very desperate and pathetic looking.
We should say that we'll be non-spoilery for a little bit until we get stuck, and then we have to go into spoiler territory.
Yeah,
of course, that suggests there's something here to spoil.
Yeah, we won't spoil
is.
the fact that Tom Cruise runs. Oh shit! Oh, sorry. Yeah, he doesn't.
Yeah,
run
of
along.
course. It fulfilled that clause in Tom Cruise's contract he has, where there's got to be at least 2 minutes of him just running.
Mate, you've got to get cardio when you can. You've got to get it in there.
He has to have a scene where he runs. You know?
Well, to be honest, when I saw the trailer, I saw the leaked one, which they put up without the correct sound effects. They put up in the trailer where it was just the sound of their voices and then silence, which I mean is a perfect example of why film is so different when you have different music behind it. You know, the classic thing of showing a scary thing without the music, it doesn't work. It was hilarious with his screams and with her going "Wah!" as she flew out the plane, and so those scenes I literally couldn't take seriously because of that.
What the hell?
No!
One of the things about this new film that I really cannot stand, and it's the female character. Like, I was so just didn't like it that I can't even remember her name. And I want to make it clear, I'm not criticising the actress. It's not her fault, but the character is useless. She's just there.
I'm sorry. Do you mean the mummy? Oh, no, you mean
no, not the mummy.
Love
the sidekick.
Yeah, the sidekick love interest thing.
Yeah. That's all she's there to be, is a sidekick and for Tom to help. But whereas if you compare that with what Evie was in the 99 one, she's a bit ditzy, but she's competent. She's spent her whole life in books being turned down because she's a woman. And the first bit of action that she's in, she stabs a dude in the eye with a candle.
Yeah.
And she saves Brendan Fraser's life. Whereas if you compare it with the new one, when they're in the ambulance chase, I think there was quite a few times she's like, "Oh, Tommy, help me, oh, help me," and it's just like Rachel Weisz wouldn't have put up with that shit.
Yeah,
she would have got out there and dealt with it. So.
That's exactly right. I think the difference is in the 1999 movie, they're all flawed, interesting characters. They're all got, you know, not all of them are action heroes. So that's just Brendan Fraser. And Doesn't matter about his real name. He's called Brendan Fraser. But all the other characters, Evie,
And the other Americans as well.
well, the Americans are brilliant. It's a collection of Americans. They go gun ho shooting, and but they're cowards and they mess up and they're greedy. Even Benny, he's a manipulative and effective and knows a lot. But he's an opportunist. But he's a scumbag. One of the even better than Imhotep, who's a great villain. Benny is one of the great villains that there's been. But even the side characters, the guy who plays Jonathan, he could have been nothing. He could have had no effect on the movie at all. But he's effectively portrayed as a drunk who's got lucky and is trying to help Evie and cares. I mean, Omar Jahili is a perfect example. He doesn't have a lot of lines. He gets killed off relatively early in the movie, but every scene he's in is incredibly memorable. And his death gave me nightmares for years as a kid, because it's terrifying having a little thing crawl into you and go into your head and burrow into your brain. Oh, it's awful. Right. But it's the characters that do it. It's the fact that they are, one, given great material to work with, but two, have the perfect casting of them.
I mean, I have to say right now that I've not actually watched The Mummy.
And we have derided him for it.
It's one of those films. At the time when it came out, to me it just looked like a shitty knockoff of Indiana Jones, and so I didn't really have an interest in watching it. And I don't think I really liked Brendan Fraser at the time. I think I'd seen 1-2 things, and he just didn't appeal to me.
You didn't like George of the Jungle?
Exactly. That's why I didn't have an interest in it, in seeing him.
When I came back from watching the 2017 one, I sat down and I wrote down all the things that really pissed me off, and I'm just going to go through them now, and I just want to see whether they annoyed you as well.
Okay,
right?
absolutely.
First of all, the hole, right? So they're on the roof. They call in a airstrike. The roof slides off, taps the ground, and then they slide in, and there is a statue. And hole, right? You can also see there are 2 sewage pipes that were going through that bit, right? When they were digging to plant those sewer pipes, that would have done more damage to that road than the roof sliding down and hitting it. So 1, it should have been discovered already. 2, when this thing was made, they dug a big hole and then they put a statue at the top, but you can clearly see that when they go down the hole, it opens up into a big cavern. So what the hell is that thing standing on?
Yeah.
Right? That's my first complaint. Like, I'm seeing it, I'm like, these are too many questions. Then they're in the hole, and then stuff's raining down on them, and he's like, what's that? And she's like, it's mercury.
Oh.
Why is there mercury up there? Why is it dripping down? If it's been there for thousands of years, surely it would have run out. That's stupid.
Well, yeah, but they had like poison pressurized gas in the 1999 film, and that was I accepted that because it was like pressurized and it's not in the ceiling. It would have run out. No, don't need a massive amount of that, right? So that fucked me off. And when they're in there, the like, nonchalantness. Now, I know that's not a word, but they're like looking at this thing, it's all chained up, it's hanging precariously, and old Tommy's like, I'll just shoot it off. And I know what they were going for, because that's the sort of thing that Brendan Fraser would have done in the 1991. George of the Jungle.
No. So, but when he does stuff like that, like he shoots the mirrors, so they light up the whole room.
Yes.
It's cheesy and it's stupid, but it works, and you can't help but think, you smooth bastard. But when Tommy does it, I'm just thinking, you're a prick. You're a prick. You are not taking any care or like attention. You're just an asshole.
I just think the whole idea of what his character was ridiculous as well. That there were a couple of soldiers who were also had some scheme where they were going off, like finding old antiquities to sell them on the black market.
Yeah,
they were trying to combine 2 different characters into one person. So they wanted to be like an action soldier, and on the other hand, they wanted to be Indiana Jones. Because one thing I was going to my sort of nitpick is some of the comedy or attempts at comedy in this movie where it came across really awkwardly. Like the one that really sort of threw me out, and I laughed, but I didn't laugh the way the film wants me to laugh at it. Was when his mate, when he
You
shoots
shot me
his
3
mate,
times?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, but when he actually shoots him, so like
Oh!
the guy's coming towards him, you know, he shoots him because he has to stop him. Then he shoots him again. The guy's a corpse on the floor. He's just killed his best mate, and then he accidentally shoots him again, and it's played for laughs. It's like that's
Yeah.
the wrong time to do that. He's just killed his best friend. You know,
Yeah.
we were supposed to like that character. Having that character get shot accidentally for laughs when he's just died is not the appropriate time to make a
That
joke.
was more of an
like that.
Evil
It
Dead
was really-
series sort of thing.
Yeah,
It was
it
like silly.
wasn't funny. It was just that you're gonna play his mate's death for laughs. Then, like so soon.
Yeah, it was at the end of a good sequence as well, because I would say when Nick from New Girl gets up and stabs the guy across there, I didn't expect that. I didn't just expect like a real casual stab, and then he turns him out. I really like that, and then you're right, Dan. They sort of play his death for laughs. And I was like, well, you've just ruined the good work you've just done. Again, it's a bad decision has ruined this film.
And there was lots of attempts at jokes like that throughout the movie, where they'd just have these attempts at humour that really fell flat for me. That just didn't work. And this whole stuff with his mate, where they ripped off American Werewolf in London, with his mate coming back as a ghost and speaking to him. That was you know, this film is just full of just rip off moments of other movies.
Okay, so anything you found effective for the 2017 movie before we put it to bed? Because the bit with the camel spider was just because I'm kind of scared of those things because they're creepy, did work for me. When it sort of
I
comes
think
out.
it was good that camel spider got a mention in there, not because I remember when the Iraq War started, there was this whole urban myth that went around about camel spiders being these ginormous, huge spiders that were really poisonous, and there was a picture of someone apparently holding a camel spider, and it looked like bigger than a dinner plate. It was huge, but it was just the picture was taken in perspective, and
I think there were 2 of them in like that picture. There was 2 of them held together.
And it just made it look like a massive thing. So it's just cool. They actually just had, you know, it's just where he just it's just a camel spider. They're not poisonous. Don't worry about that. That was cool.